It's weird every time I turn on the camera and I prepare to say something on camera. As soon as I turn it on, I get real weird. I walk a lot. I do a lot of computer work, so when I get the chance to, when I need a break, which is almost every day, I'm going on a long walk in my neighborhood. It's one of the reasons I really love Pasadena, living in Pasadena. It's one of the reasons I enjoy living in California is because, for the most part, it gives me the ability to go outside often and I'm not trapped in the house, even if it's the winter season like I felt living on the East Coast. I didn't have a specific topic that I wanted to talk about or reference, but I did want to mention that something really profound has been happening with me since maybe the beginning of this year. Even though it's something that's been happening my whole life, I think we just get to points where it matters more than it has previously or before. And so I've had this kind of emotional, I'm gonna say attachment, I guess. We all have attachments, but this emotional gut feeling that I think all humans can kind of potentially identify with, whether it's something we were programmed with in our childhood from our parents or society, TV, culture, religion, doesn't really matter. But what happened recently was that I had a bit of a situation back at home and this feeling came up again. I thought I got rid of it. I thought it was a part of the past. But then when the situation happened, the feeling came right back up and hit me hard. And I said, oh, well, maybe I'm not quite done with this yet. Maybe there's still some work that needs to be done in this area. But of course, I didn't say it like that at the time. At the time, I was like, damn, shit, I don't want to feel this. So once the situation kind of leveled out and I was able to start paying attention to my own reactions, I was like, oh, okay, this is where this came from. This is why I thought I was out here supposed to be saving human beings. This is why I chose to be in the relationships that I was in, because of this very exact feeling, this feeling in my gut that said, hey, you're supposed to save people, or hey, you're supposed to feel other people's feelings. How people feel, you should feel. If someone's sad, then you should feel sad. If someone's angry, then you should experience anger. And then I'm like, hold on, but that's not actually mine. That's not actually what I feel. That's not actually my experience. That's not what I'm going through. Then it made me realize why fear and all the other craziness that's distributed to humanity the way that it is simply because if they can get you to feel what's not yours, they got you. Control. Simply control. And so in my own personal experience, once I realized that, it was a huge kind of awakening point for me. And at this point, awakenings aren't like these mass, like, oh my God, God came down and rubbed my forehead and now I can see the light. Nah. Sometimes they're very subtle moments where it's just a slow, soft, just like nudge. So after I started to recognize this pattern, I've spent the past week really kind of untangling it, but it doesn't hurt. It's not something that needs to be, again, getting rid of feelings, these intense feelings. Like, why do we feel so intensely about shit? Why? Who told us that we're supposed to feel like this and suffer and stress, and that somehow if we stress more, if we suffer more, then we love more, or we're more of a human being? And I'm working on not speaking for other people and trying to focus on my experience and my experience only. So before I go on a rant about what humans are doing, I'm gonna go back to what I was saying. So the purpose of making this video is to share the fact that a huge thing just happened with me, where I was able to identify this specific feeling inside me, where it came from, why I held on to it for so long, and how it was controlling my relationships with not even with just partners, with just like how I saw humans. Because I have to love this way. Love has to hurt, right? Because then we come here to save people, even though this person is choosing what they want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it, no matter how it makes other people feel. So if that person can continue on living their life in that moment, why aren't we allowed to do the same, and vice versa? And so that experience, which is still kind of lingering around, is really showing me some really cool ass shit about my human experience and what I came here to do. And it revealed to me that I did not come here to save any other human being by force, by stress, by the illusion of this attachment of love, or that love is actually the most untouched thing that I'm learning now. It's like, it's not something that actually is tangible. And so I really just wanted to share that we are so beyond this realm that we're addicted to, that we don't want to leave, because here we have physical control. Here we can tell people what to do. Here we can manipulate. I'd say they can't manipulate over there, it's just different in the physical space. But here we can manipulate, we can control, we can feed the body, we can feed addiction. And addiction isn't just substance. Addiction is thinking patterns. It's feelings. One of the biggest addictions that I've been able to observe in my human experience has been suffering. The human being is addicted to suffering on the most umpteenth level. The addiction to suffering actually is the cause of all the other addictions that come after that, whether it's substance, whatever it is. But suffering, I found out, is one of the most we're addicted to suffering. And now that I know that officially, now that I can proceed in life knowing that I'm cracking this code, my life is about to change, or it has changed within a week, because I've picked up the fact that this is something that I've been doing. It's something that is really deeply programmed and ingrained in our psyche. And in order for us to move beyond certain timelines, we have to recognize the patterns that are in our own doing. And so with that said, I will no longer operate my life in the addiction of suffering. I will not allow other people's addiction of suffering to control my emotional state. I will move forward accordingly, understanding that I did not come here to save people. I wrote that down when I was 33, and it came back up again at 36. And so here I am again, and this time it's done. It is done. I did not come here to save people. I will not be working towards saving people. I will be working towards aligning with people who for themselves are choosing that they want to be saved, and not in a religious standpoint, in a knowing spiritual soul standpoint. So that's it.